Reagan, thank you for that live report. Massachusetts law requires dog and cat owners vaccinate their pets for rabies, but a recent recall is impacting some of those vaccinated pets, both nationwide and here in the Bay State.
Western Mass News reporter Madison Lisowski joining us live in studio now after getting answers on who is impacted and what next steps are. Madison.
Yeah, Chris and Amanda, this is the text that some pet owners received from their veterinarians recently. Our vaccine supplier has informed us that out of an abundance of caution, it has issued a recall on the specific batch of rabies vaccine that was administered to your pet. The supplier has identified and corrected the issue, and no other batches are affected. Now, the affected product is IMRAB 3TF 1 milliliter rabies vaccine, specifically serial number 18665, which was provided by the company Boehringer Ingelheim. All of this information you can find on your pet's rabies certificate. Now, it goes on to explain that the issue is the affected vials contained only sterile water rather than the active rabies vaccine, meaning that pets injected with this batch won't be protected against the rabies virus. We reached out to several local veterinary clinics who were unable to comment on the incident. We also reached out to Boehringer Ingelheim, who wrote a statement to us that reads in part, veterinarians that received vaccine from this lot have been notified directly and will be in contact with pet owners if revaccination is necessary. Additionally, we are in communication with state veterinary government officials. We appreciate the trust pet owners have in their veterinarian and in us and are committed to supporting veterinarians throughout the process. Now, the vaccination provider and vet clinics want to be clear that this will not pose a safety issue to any pets besides the fact that the vaccine was ineffective. If you are concerned that your pet may have received one of the recalled vaccines, contact your veterinarian to verify. Additionally, all impacted pets are recommended to be revaccinated. For now, reporting live in studio, Madison Lisowski, Western Mass News.